Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to Tigers franchise. What a heartbreaking end to that season, and now we're to the point to where what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn everything to auto, and it's basically going to be following the careers of Juan Soto, who's now 31 and will be a free agent in 2 years, Darren Ortega, Jonathan Staub, and Ellie De La Cruz, among all the other guys, O'Neal Cruz. But we're going to follow their careers and see where they end up. We'll do an update at the end of maybe every few seasons. This will probably be a couple episodes. This will lead us right into Madden. Madden starts next Monday. And if you didn't see on my page, we're doing the Green Bay Packers this year. I couldn't be more excited. So, yeah, we're going to turn everything to auto as I go through this offseason. Can I just do it here? How do mode specific maybe? There we go. So we're going to turn all this, we're going to turn the critical situations off, turn everything to auto, and we're just simming the careers. They might end up somewhere else, but I really want to see what happens. So I will update you guys when we get to the end of next season, and we'll see what happens. Let's go. So here we are after the All-Star break. I wanted to see if we had any All-Stars. And Hunter Green with a 10-0 record. We could have used that last year, but having a great bounce-back year after a rough year. He makes the All-Star team. Not really liking what I'm seeing in the closing pitching category. Tyler Stevenson's an All-Star again. Jonathan Staub makes the team. His hitting .331 with 23 homers, 83 RBIs. Juan Soto having another great year. No shock there. And no one else. So we had, 3 or 4? And I will update you guys here when we get to the offseason. Here in the postseason, we won 115 games this year. Jonathan Staub ends up on the IL with a shoulder separation. Had a phenomenal year. Hit 35 homers, 133 ribbies. Juan Soto was great. This team was unstoppable this year. Hunter Green was unbelievable. Ortega kind of had a rough year. Kind of sad for Staub, though. McFadden hit 304. And as we'll look at the award winners this year, Juan Soto wins MVP. Staub finishes third. Soto with his 4th MVP as a Tiger. Hunter Green finally wins the Cy Young. We finally have a Cy Young winner in the form of Hunter Green, who will be a free agent at the end of the year. Juan Soto doesn't win the batting title. Bednar almost wins reliever of the year. Soto wins the Hank Aaron Award. Juan Soto wins Silver Slugger for DH. I didn't see any of us for Gold Glove. Staub wins Silver Slugger at shortstop. And we'll get through the postseason here and see how we do. And we'll probably watch these sim. And we lose game 1, a rematch with the Rays, and we get swept by the Rays. And it's to the offseason. I'll catch you guys at the start of next year. Giants beat the Rays in the World Series. And they let Juan Soto and Darren Ortega be free agents. Hunter Green gets an offer from the Tigers. This is going to be crazy if they let both of them go. I'm curious to see what they do. Juan Soto to the Phillies. Unreal. Diego Cartaya to the Guardians. Curtis Mead to the Mariners. Phil Rose to the Marlins. Hunter Green to the Twins. The Tigers are collapsing. Kyle Harrison, Corbin Carroll. Jordan Walker to the White Sox. We lost everyone. Jackson Jobe, Casey Mize. Wow. Davey Garcia, Felix Buster Diaz, Yuri Perez. Did Ortega resign? Staub. Ortega still must be a free agent. And the Tigers aren't even offering Darren Ortega a contract. What a crazy time to be a Tigers fan. Oh my goodness. O'Neal Cruz of the Diamondbacks. What? This offseason is chaos. We lost our whole team. Ortega to the Dodgers. Oh no. Unreal. Wow. As we go to the regular season, this team just took a turn for the worse. We have Ellie and Staub, and that is it. Cleveland McFadden on the come up. Man, this team's in rough shape now. We're about to see what they got. We re-signed no one. This rotation's got to be garbage now. Scooble, oh my goodness. This team's bad. It basically reset. And would you look at that? At the end of the regular season, the Tigers end up as the 2 seed, post Juan Soto and Darren Ortega. Jonathan Staub with an absolute career year. He's now a 99 overall. Ellie De La Cruz had his solid year. And Riley Green out of nowhere was fun. I guess not really out of nowhere. He was really good. Cleveland McFadden had a good rookie year, kind of. Jake McCarthy was great. That was a good move by them. And Dominguez up to an 85 now. Probably the closer now, I would assume. And Rory Butler wins MVP for the Royals. 24-year-old rookie they drafted. Do we have anyone? I'm looking for any former players or anything. No. Tarek Skubal finished second in the Gold Glove for pitchers. Cartaya finished second in Gold Glove for catchers. We always knew he was a good defender. But good for him. Staub finishes third at shortstop. And Silver Slugger DH. Cleveland McFadden finishes second to Luis Urias. Kind of crazy because other than RBIs, he has them in everything. Cartaya wins it at catcher. That's insane. Apparently, I made the wrong start there. Staub wins it at shortstop. Jake McCarthy is runner-up in the outfield there. And we're in the postseason. I mean, we got a shot here. You never know. The We Believe Tigers against the Rays again. Here as we start out at home and lose 2, win game 3, and lose game 4 again in the ALDS to the Rays. And Freddie Freeman makes the Hall of Fame as a Tiger. Love to see that. Hit 299. Altuve and Xander Bogaerts. That's a heck of a Hall of Fame class. I'm going to do one thing for these guys and hold on to Jonathan Staub. We're going to give him whatever the max is. 14 years, $490 million for Staub. And we're going to front load it. And yeah, Jonathan Staub back long term. I'm going to make it easy on him. That'll be the one time I hop in. I want Staub to be here the whole time. Look at that contract. 48 mil next year. All right, and here we go. All-star voting. No starting pitchers. Elvis Dominguez makes his first All-Star game. He's had a good year, really. 24 saves, 3 blowing, but what are you going to do? Cartaya makes another All-Star team out, hitting 304 in the Guardians. Good for him. Torkelson makes the All-Star game as a Red Sox. In what world? Let's go. Good for Torque. We're happy to see that. McFadden makes the All-Star team at third, hitting 309. What a stud he's turned out to be. He's only getting better. Staub makes it at short after getting his super max contract. Other than that, no one really makes it. I guess I should check the National League to see if any of our... Casey Mize makes it on the National League side. How's he been doing since going there? He's been unstoppable. Cy Young caliber pitcher since going to New York or San Francisco. But we kind of was seeing flashes of that here his last few years in Detroit. So that doesn't really upset me. 3 years, he'll be a free agent. Anyone else? I don't recognize any Tigers. Darren Ortega, all-star for the Dodgers. How's he been doing? He's had a good couple years. Not really surprising. He was great last year. They got him under contract for a long time. So, you know, you kind of got to just be happy for. Austin Meadows still out here destroying the league at 36. Crazy. And I'll see you guys in the postseason, hopefully. And O'Neal Cruz gets traded back to the Mets, I believe, for Bobby Coronado. Wow. And here we go. Against the Yankees, we lose game 1, win game 2, deciding game 3. We win, and we'll play the Royals here. And the Seawolves are now in the... Did they win the whole thing? I believe they did. Our Double-A just won the whole thing. And Riley Green on IL with the shoulder cartilage damage. Not great. He had a good year, though. Staub, I'm sure, had a good year as well. Advance today. Nope. And we beat the Royals in game 1. The We Believe Tigers coming through. Oh, no. Oh, game 5. We lose. They forced the game 5. We haven't made it past the ALDS since we started the sim. And we'll send the postseason here. The Rangers defeat the Phillies and Juan Soto in the World Series. Matt Manning retires as a Padre. 69 overall, nice. Didn't really have a great end to his career. He went from, we traded him to Boston. He was part of the McFadden trade. Had a great year in Boston, and then really fell off his last 4 years in San Diego. And called it quits this year. And he had a great career. We're thankful for his time with us. And Manny Machado and Mike Trout retire and make the Hall of Fame, obviously. All right, we're 45 and 45 at the All-Star break. Staub having an okay year. Ellie having an okay year. Did they extend him? No. Riley Green having a pretty good year. Cleveland McFadden's been really good. Dominguez has been really good. And we kind of knew this was all going to happen. Our team is beat up, though. Wow. Okay. All-Star voting-wise, no pitching All-Stars. Dominguez makes another All-Star team. Cartaya makes another All-Star team. Torque makes another All-Star team. Wow. Good for Torque. And, oh, Jake McCarthy makes the All-Star team. Having a great year, Jake is. Good job, buddy. Proud of you. And let's go to the postseason, see if we can make it. And for the first time, we do not make the playoffs here. We finished 78 and 84. So we'll sim to the offseason. And the Athletics defeat Darren Ortega and the Dodgers in the World Series. TJ Antone, former Tiger, retires. Not that anyone really cares, but he was pretty terrible here. I don't even know if he ever was actually on the Major League team that I can remember. O'Neill Cruz to the Brew Crew for a 1-year deal. Darren Ortega, who's a 93 now at 28 years old. And he actually had a pretty not great year last year, but I mean, still a good year nonetheless. But Ortega's been great, and kind of sad that he's not going to retire a Tiger, but maybe he will. Maybe we'll pull out some stock the next time he's a free agent and try to bring him back. All right, so I simmed it to past the All-Star break. We're 57 and 34 this year. Staub back on the All-Star team with his former teammate Ellie De La Cruz. Riley Green makes the All-Star team in center. Elvis Dominguez makes it as the closer. We love that. Torkelson is destroying on the Red Sox. Jeez, man. He's been phenomenal in Boston. Good for him. Ellie makes it. Kind of sad to see Ellie go. Typical Tigers not paying someone. Staub makes it at short. Riley Green in center having a great year. And yeah, we'll sim to the end of the season and see what happens. I never did check awards for last year, so we'll check that. Rory Butler won MVP again. Oh, Jake McCarthy won the batting title last year for us. Nice. Elvis Dominguez in the running for reliever of the year this year. Pablo Rodriguez won left field Gold Glove a year ago for us, so that's good. Yeah. And we made the wild card. Here we play Cleveland. It feels like we play Cleveland every single year. Awards-wise, Manny Esposito wins MVP as a starting pitcher. That's incredible. Had a great year for sure. 21 and 2. Wow. Cy Young also goes obviously to Esposito. Sam Jones for the Blue Jays wins the batting title. Elvis Dominguez ends up third with a .42 ERA, 34 saves, didn't blow a save all year. I mean, that's best reliever in baseball stuff right there. That's insane that he didn't win that. Riley Green almost wins Gold Glove. He made one error, and it cost him the Gold Glove. Staub finishes second in Silver Slugger. He had a good year, another good year. He's been kind of down, actually, the last few years, but I mean, it's Jonathan Staub. He's 28 now. Riley Green can't win the outfield Silver Slugger. He just missed it. And here we go as we'll sim through game one. We lose game one. We lose game two. We're eliminated. I'll see you in the offseason. Shohei Ohtani retires with the Mets at 40. And I guarantee you he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Tyler Alexander, former Tiger. I don't remember the last time he pitched for us in 2022, so he never did. Mookie Betts makes the Hall of Fame. Good for Mookie. And here we go, 47 and 44 at the break. And Luke Gold is out. He's 34 now. He's been here like the whole time. As we look at Staub having another great year, Ayala having a good year, McFadden having another great year. He never really developed the power, but Riley Green having a fine year. Has he been hurt or something? He's starting to regress a little bit. 34 years old. Dominguez has been nothing short of amazing in this franchise, which is what I thought he would be when we drafted him. I knew it was going to take time, but that's okay. All-star wise, we didn't have any. It would appear. Oh, Eddie Ayala makes it. Good. Ryan Weathers makes it out of our bullpen at 35 years old. Very cool. And then Dominguez does not make it this year. Jonathan Staub makes it as the backup shortstop. Anyone else? Oh, that's pitchers. National League wise, not really. Tyler Soderstrom, not really seeing any Tigers in here. Miguel Vargas, wasn't he on the team for a short while? I'm pretty sure he was. Maybe not. I guess I could just look. No, he was not. Okay. Maybe he was. For those, I don't remember now. Oh, wow. None of our former players made the All-Star game. Interesting. So I'll see you guys at the postseason. And the Tigers make the ALDS? Is that what that said? The 2 seed, we won 89 games. Okay. And Eloy Jimenez wins MVP. Staub finishes third. Had a great year. Really great year. 37 homers, which second in his career. Okay. O'Neal Cruz wins it in the National League. Good for O'Neal. Eddie Ayala wins Cy Young. There we go. Miranda wins. Torkelson finishes second in batting title. Staub finishes second in the Hank Aaron Award. Pedro Feliciano wins the Gold Glove at pitcher. Interesting. Staub wins a Gold Glove at short. I don't know how many Gold Gloves that is for Staub, but enough. He's been really good. And Silver Sluggers, McFadden wins it. He had a good year. I think he's just a DH at this point, but that's fine. Staub wins it as well at shortstop. And we are a 2 seed here in the postseason. Riley Green kind of showed some regression. Still had a fine year, though, at 34. He's still getting it done. And somehow we get the wild card off. We play the Rangers here in a best of 5. We win game 1, lose game 2, win game 3, and win game 4, and we have Torkelson and the Red Sox in the ALCS for a chance to go back to the World Series. This ought to be interesting. We take game 1, take game 2, take game 3. The Tigers are back in the World Series against the Braves. If we get the Dodgers, and it's the Braves. Who do they have? I can't even remember. Let's take a peek. The Braves. They have no former Tigers that I could see. Bo Bichette. Wow, this is crazy. Tigers back in the World Series against the Braves. Win game 1. Win game 2. Can the Tigers do it? They win game 3. Tigers are World Series champions. Unreal. Oh my goodness. Andrew Vaughn wins MVP of the World Series. Philip Chen, of all people. Oh, he's a left fielder that they drafted. Wins the postseason MVP. He was phenomenal. Riley Green finished second. Ken Breachin, who we've had around forever, wins it, or finishes third. Wow. This Tigers team brings home the World Series. It's not the best group of guys, but they get it done for, how many is that now? 5. 5 World Series in the season. Unreal. Akil Baddoo retires at 37. He was a 55 overall. He hadn't played in 3 years. I'd like to think he'd come back as a Tiger and retire. One of my favorite players in the series. It's sad to see him retire. Justin Henry Malloy retires at a 56 overall. He was 35. He hadn't played in a while. He never really could make the team for us. And So, you know, some guys, that's just, they're cursed with that. You stuck behind a bunch of good players. It's going to happen to where you just will never make the league, unfortunately. And here we are at the All-Star break, 50 and 42. McFadden makes the All-Star team again. Eddie Ayala makes it, having another great year. Elvis Dominguez back in the All-Star game. Cleveland McFadden having another good year here. Staub doesn't make it this year. Interesting. And what's going on with Staub? Not having the best year. Starting to regress a little bit at age 30. And not great. Philip Chen on the IL. Tore his labrum. He's done for the year. Darnell Copeland, a good draft pick that they made. I actually wanted to check out... No, I wanted to check out... How do I look at... Oh, there we go. And just seeing if any were broken. And it doesn't look like it. And the Diamondbacks acquire Elvis Dominguez. The Tigers trade him away for a couple prospects. What? Oh, that's tough. And we make the wild card here against the Blue Jays. We're the 3 seed. I don't know why I'm going to transactions. And Staub, he ended up having a good year. He had a big second half there. McFadden hit 299. Very nice. We love to see it. Awards-wise, MVP goes to Carlos Castro for the White Sox. Eddie Ayala finished the second to Andrew Painter for the Cy Young. Anyone else? Jonathan Staub finishes second in the Hank Aaron Award. I'm not seeing anyone. Riley Green almost wins Gold Glove again. McFadden wins Silver Slugger at third. Staub at short again. Kind of just becoming regular. And I guess let's see what happens here. The We Believe Tigers lose game 1 and lose game 2, and they're out of the playoffs in the wild card. Brian Reynolds makes the Hall of Fame as a Yankee. All right, so I was just looking at Ortega's stats here, and he is now in the AAA for the Dodgers. He's fallen off a cliff. I don't know what happened, but at age 30, he had a good year. He hit 252 the year before that and 247 the year before that, but his powers went down consistently. As we look at his attributes, he's kind of regressed tremendously. And he's a free agent at the end of the year. And that's interesting as we look at our team here. And it's the same group of guys, you know. Fernando Saldana's new. We lost Dominguez. McFadden and Staub are like the last 2 here. Going into their age 31 years, I'll see at the All-Star break. And we did not make the postseason. Will Vest, he's been here the whole time. Yeah, he's literally been a Tiger the whole time. This whole franchise he's been here. He calls or quits at 42. Good for him. David Bednar calls or quits at 43. He was phenomenal as a Tiger. Didn't play since they didn't bring him back. And what a career he had as a Tiger. It was a, 6-7 year run? And he was phenomenal all 7 years. Probably should have got a crack at closer. He did in 2030 when Lang left, and he was really good. Had 50 saves, blew 9 of them, but that's not that bad. He calls or quits at 43. Ray Duke calls or quits at 30. He dropped all the way down to a 48 overall. He didn't pitch since, wow. Ray Duke never made it in the league. That is shocking to me. Played 3 years and was a free agent until the age of 30. Never got a chance in the league. Wow. Ray Duke out of the league at 30. That's surprising. Wilmer Flores out of the league. He had a good long career, though. He pitched till 2035. Colt Keith out of the league at 36. He'll retire. He hasn't played since 2031 for us, and he had 7 ABs that year. So never, always stuck behind a loaded infield. Never really got the chance to play, and he retires at 36. Still had a good long career as a backup. Alex Lang retires, a long-time Tiger closer. Had a horrible last year with San Fran, and then Toronto. He was just bad. And he was starting to regress, as you see, towards the end of his Tiger career as well. He went from being dominant to just not dominant, to say the least, and he just never found it. But retires at age 42. Casey Mize retires at 40. and he didn't pitch the last 2 years. He went to San Fran as well, and he had a really good couple years, his first 2 years there. Then he started to fall off, then he was really bad, and then no one signed him. But you could kind of see that coming. Mize was really good for us a lot of times. Bryant Packard never got a shot for us, never really got a shot anywhere. His biggest year with us was 116 ABs, 5 homers, 16 RBIs. And then with Atlanta, he started but didn't have a great year, never got signed again, retires at 40. And that's crazy. AJ Puck was a Tiger for 1 year, and it was one of his best career years. We're happy to see AJ Puck retire. And Bo Bichette, Ozzie Albies, and Nolan Arenado will make the Hall of Fame this year. And we're going to make a trade, I think. We're going to go out and we're going to get Darren Ortega back to Detroit, whatever it takes. Who's our starting left fielder right now? Philip Chen. Okay. Riley Green returns at age 37. Welcome back to Detroit, buddy. Dennis Bernstein, you're fired. And the Darren Ortega returns. Welcome back, Mr. Ortega. And the Tigers make the postseason as the 1 seed. Whoa. And Staub with a great year. Chen with a great year. He doesn't hit for a lot of RBIs or anything. Darren Ortega was horrendous. That's crazy. He didn't even play an MLB game a year ago. I didn't mean to do that. As we look at awards here, Joel Amaros wins MVP. Marcos Vasquez finishes just short of Cy Young. Vasquez wins the Gold Glove. Philip Wynn wins it at catcher, 36-year-old. Chen is third in Gold Glove. Jonathan Staub wins another Silver Slugger at shortstop. And man, let's see what happens here as we'll sim to this series. And we win game 1, lose game 2 to the White Sox, win game 3, and win game 4 to go to the ALCS against the Angels. And we win game 1, win game 2, win game 3, win game 4, and we're back in the World Series. What year is this? In the year 2038 against the Nationals. We lose game 1, lose game 2, lose game 3. I'm hopping in as player lock with Jonathan Staub. Let's go. Come on. The year's 2038. Who'd have thought it? It's 3-0 Washington. We can do this, boys. It's comeback season. And here we go. Staub in. 0-0. Top of the first. Runner off first. Carroll throws over. Nothing happening here. I mean, we got to play one last time with Staub here, right? In the World Series. A 5-time champion. Pitch on the way. And that's foul. I have not played this game in a couple days. Give me a break here. 0-1 to Staub. And here we go. I've actually been playing a little bit of Madden to get ready for the franchise. 1-1 to Staub. Lewis Carroll on the mound. Auto-generated player. And here we go. Throws over. Still 1-1 to Staub. And here we go. Staub ready for the 1-1. Pitch on the way. 2-1 to Staub. And this might be the last time you see Staub. Probably is, because I probably won't play another game, but I had to get one in the World Series. 2-1 home. 3-1 to Staub. McFadden on deck. And here we go. Carroll sets. Pitch home. And chopped up the middle. Weak contact. On to first in time to put Staub away. And here we go. We're hitting again. 0-1. We trail 3-0. The wind from Carroll. Pitch home. 1-0 here. Staub with a 96.5 WAR in 15 career seasons. Been an MLB player since he was 19. That's chopped to second. Fires to first in time for the second out of the inning. And here's Staub again. 0-2 with 2 groundouts. Runner on first. 2 outs, top of 6. Pitch home. Chopped weakly again. On to first in time to end the top of 6. Staub apparently can't drive the ball in his old age. 4-1 here. 2 on. Staub could tie it. Righty, face of the righty here. Sam May, pitch on the way. Chop foul way out front of the changeup. 0-1 to Mr. Staub. And here we go. May, pitch home. 1-1 now to Staub. And here we go. Ready with the 1-1. May will come set. 2 on. Top of 8. Pitch on the way. Fouled back. That was a 1 to tie it up on. I was late on it. And here we go. The 1-2. May gets set on the mound with the stirrups on. Pitch home. Driven! That's deep. But not deep enough. That'll still score a run. And that'll be a sac fly for Staub to cut it to 4-2. It does a job. But the Nationals win the World Series. And that might be the last image we get of Jonathan Staub. Kerry Carpenter calls her quits. He wasn't a Tiger for a long time at the end of this franchise, but still a franchise legend. Yeah, played here 3 years. Really only played, 2 years with us? And he was not great. But then went to Cincy. Had a decent run there with Toronto and Arizona. He was really solid those years and then really fell off his last year. Retires at 41. Had a decent career. Good for him. Juan Castro. William Contreras retires. Also a former Tiger. We had him for, 5 years? And he was really good. Best catcher we had. He had a great last year with LA. He only hit 27 times, but yeah, I mean, William Contreras had a good career. It was a short stint with us. Retires at 41. Bro, will you bring your happy ass back here? God, there we go. Darren Ortega back on the team. All right, so here at the All-Star break, the Tigers are 49-42. Cleveland McFadden makes another All-Star game. Marcos Vasquez makes another All-Star game. Cleveland McFadden. There's no way Darren Ortega makes it, right? He's got to be having his best year, right? Jonathan Staub having an okay year, starting to really regress at age 33. Philip Chen having a good year. How's my man Darren Ortega doing? He's on AAA. No, you get back up here, boy. I'll tell you when you go down. Riley Green sticking her out up here. DeAndre Burnett. Go to AAA, son. Good luck. I need Darren Ortega up. And, yeah, we'll send him to the postseason and see what happens here. And we make the wild card against the Orioles. And here we go as we look at this team. Staub had a decent year. He's never really had a bad year. I mean, to be honest, he had another decent year. How'd my boy do? Darren Ortega ended up at AAA. Yeah, he's horrible now. What happened, Darren? You were supposed to be the chosen one. No. As we look at MVP, it's Ronald Siva. Hasn't he won a few now? Marcos Vasquez is runner-up again in Cy Young. Francisco Murillo. We somehow have good catchers every year. McFadden's runner-up in Gold Glove. Staub wins another Gold Glove at shortstop. I don't know how many that is, but he has quite a few. Silver Slugger, third base, is Cleveland McFadden. Staub wins it or is runner-up at shortstop. All right, let's see if we can't somehow pull something off. We win game 1, win game 2. We're on to the ALDS. And who knows? Maybe we'll get another crack at it here. Lose game 1, lose game 2, maybe not. Win game 3, win game 4. Wait a sec. Win game 5. And we play Boston. And we lose game 1, lose game 2, lose game 3, lose game 4. We get broomed by Boston, but, I'm not going to be too upset. O'Neal Cruz calls her quits at 41. Had a tremendous career. I'd be shocked if he's not a Hall of Famer. I mean, he ended up back with the Tigers in 2037. I never even realized that. Had a good year. Well, a decent year. He would have been 39 at that point in time. Remember when we went out and traded for him? It was this year when he hit 283, and then he was just unstoppable for a stretch there. And then hit 324s last year in Detroit before signing with Arizona. And he was unstoppable. What a great player he was. Ended with the White Sox and retires. O'Neal Cruz was phenomenal for us. Juan Soto calls it quits. He was a 4-time MVP with us. Never hit under 300. He'll definitely be a Hall of Famer. Sad to see him go, but all careers must come to an end. He was the one who turned the franchise around, and we won 4 straight with Juan Soto from 2025 to 2028. Can't thank Juan Soto enough for his contribution to this franchise. And what an unreal player he was. He'll retire at 41, a multi-time champion. Congratulations, Juan Soto, on a great career. Juan Soto makes it, J-Rod makes it, Rafael Devers, apparently not O'Neal Cruz, though. Okay. And here we go at the All-Star break, 40 and 51, really the first bad year we're seeing. I doubt any of our players are on the All-Star team. Besides, I saw a second baseman, maybe, Ken Breachin, who has been here, I believe, the whole time. Yeah, he's been a Tiger his whole career. I believe we drafted him early on, or maybe they drafted. No, I think we drafted. I think he was one of our last draft picks, and he's been a Tiger his whole career. Now 33, and an All-Star. I think a first-time All-Star, and good for him, man. Love to see that. Philip Chen also makes the All-Star team. And as we look at the team, Staub's starting to hit the wall. No, he's hitting 286. I don't even want to say he's hitting the wall. He's still having a good year. Russell Pringle's still on this team. He's an 82 overall now. Russell, the Pringle, is probably the starting third baseman on this team. Cleveland McFadden finds the IL with a broken hand. He's an 80 overall now. So he ended up regressing. Once he a free agent? He's still got 3 years on that deal. Where's my boy Darren Ortega? Did we cut him? No, he's on the IL and AA with an ACL sprain. Oh, man. We'll see you at the end of the year. And here we go. This might be the start of the fall of the franchise. 72 and 90. Our worst year by far. And yeah, Staub's starting. I mean, he's still an 86 overall. He still had a great year. I'm assuming Ortega won't be around much longer. Had a great AA year with 18 APs. Didn't play in the majors this year. That's a bummer. I don't know. Staub has definitely ended up being better than Ortega, which I never would have guessed. Dylan Dingler retires. The legend himself ended up back in Detroit for 1 year, actually, in 2035. He never made our MLB team. Played for Miami, obviously, if you remember, he signed there. We played him in the World Series, and he was great in Miami. Like, really good in Miami. All-star caliber catcher. Then went to Boston and was great. Was solid in St. Louis. Then didn't play a ton in San Fran, but had a good year as a backup. In his last year in Houston, he was okay before just kind of falling off. Retires at 42. The Ding Man, one of my favorite names ever. Dylan Dingler is gone. Riley Green retires at 40 years old. He was a Tiger almost his whole career, and he was with us through thick and thin. Riley Green, never really a starter, and then a full-time starter for a long time, and then went to Baltimore for 1 year. Then we got him back. And then he retires after not making the show last year at 40 years old. Riley Green, multi-time champion and a great career. Thank you for your service, Riley Green. Peace. Torkelson retires. He was in Boston forever. We traded him there. He was part of the McFadden trade. He was a Tiger, and he was a big part of our team early on. As you look, 2023 wasn't great. Or no. Yeah, 2023 wasn't great. And then 2024, we gave him a starting spot, and that was probably his best year as a Tiger. And then it just went downhill from there. And then we traded him to Boston, and he was an all-star first baseman for quite a few years before. Even his last year, he was solid, and then just couldn't find a roster spot after that. Retires at 41. Torkelson had a good career. Here's this year. Yordan Alvarez and Eloy Jimenez make the Hall of Fame, and we'll see what they do in the offseason here. And we went 81 and 81, did not make the postseason. I doubt we had any award winners. Doesn't look like it. As we'll look at stats here. And man, Staub finally hitting the wall. Now a 79 overall at 35. Ortega hit the wall 13 years ago, it feels like. Down to a 57. Ended up in single A. Man, we'll sim to the offseason here. Jackson Jobe retires. I didn't even see him. 39 years old. Had a great career, kind of. He was really hit and miss early on. Had some great years, had some rough years. And then he went to Cleveland and really was never good. Really struggled every year. And then wasn't signed for 4 years and calls it quits at 39. Jackson Jobe had a solid career, I'd say. And the Tigers don't make the postseason, 83 and 79. Whoops. And yeah, this team has changed a lot. Staub down to a 74. Still had a fine year. Hit 251. I mean, it was definitely his worst career year. 13 homers, 63 RBIs, but still a full-time starter at 36. Darren Ortega's dead. That guy is terrible. He has 1 bunt and 2 drag bunt. What a guy. Oh, Darren Ortega calls her a career at 37. Wow, what a horrific end to his career. Darren Ortega, the first-round pick, didn't sign with us, if you remember. We had to go into free agency. I found him, thankfully, and signed him onto the team. His first year hit 241 in 49 games. Him and Staub got called up at 19 years old. Or no, they were 18 when they got called up. They made their first full debut at 19, and he was great for the first few years. Then had a rough year. Then was great. Then had another rough year. Then was phenomenal for a 3-year stretch. Then had 2 rough years. Oh, no. And then he was rough his last year as a Tiger when we lost in the ALDS. Then went to the Dodgers and tore it up for 2 years. And then 3 years, really. And then really hit a rough patch. Then had a good year his last year at the Dodgers. Didn't have a team there. And then we signed him. And he was never really good. Again, he hit a wall after 2036 and retires at 37. Darren Ortega, the best draft pick I've probably ever made on this game, but also fell off a cliff so quick. Brady House, right below him, retires as an Oriole. He was a Tiger for a long time. Never really a consistent starter. What was the year? This year, 2028, when Luis Arraez was hurt, he played quite a bit. But never really found his role here. Then went to Baltimore and had a few decent, had 1 year as a full-time starter. Wasn't great. Was better as a backup. Played in San Diego in 2041 and wasn't great. Retires at 39. Brady House out of here. And Darren Ortega doesn't end up being a Hall of Famer. So here we go at the end of the year. Looking at retired players. Staub had an okay year. Doesn't retire, I wouldn't walk away from all that money either, so I get it. I'm not seeing any Tigers, though, so I'll update you. We'll still look at the Tigers here. And Jonathan Staub, and starting the year in AAA, 38 years old. I can't imagine he plays much longer, although that contract is very enticing, I'm sure, to stick around for another couple years. And the Mariners make the postseason. Did the Tigers, is the question. I want to see roster, don't care. Nope. Tigers, I'm assuming not, but maybe. Shortstop. Jonathan Staub down to a 61 overall. This has got to be it for him, right? He's basically like Miggy was at the start of our franchise. How'd the Tigers do this year? Not player statistics. I want standings. In the AL Central, Tigers went 77 and 85, didn't make the postseason. I gotta imagine that's it for Staub, right? And the Mariners have been eliminated. Okay, sim to offseason. Ellie De La Cruz calls her career. We didn't get much time with him as a Tiger. Signed him in the last year. He ended up playing there for quite a while, though, from 2029 to 2033. So 5 years of Ellie. Had a great career. And then really fell off his last, 6 years? I don't think that'll happen in real life, but retires at 43. Jordan Walker calls her quits at 42. Ended it with, well, not on Detroit. He was a free agent, but his last year was with Detroit, and he was actually decent his last year with Detroit. He was obviously with us. We traded for him in 2026 at the deadline, and he was great as a Tiger before signing with the White Sox, and he was great there. And then steadily declined, and then came back here and had a decent 2040 before not landing on a team, and he ends up retiring at 42. Jordan Walker. And Jonathan Staub, 39 years old, to 61 overall. I can't imagine he's going to stick around after that contract expires. I can't imagine he sticks around after this year. But we'll see what happens. Here we go. Let's sim the year and see what happens. Here we are at the end of the year, and we'll see if Staub is even on the team still. Oh yeah, 39 years old, played Double-A ball all year, didn't play in Double-A, making 24 mil to not play in Double-A. Did the Tigers make the playoffs? Yes, they went 92 and 70. The Tigers are in the playoffs as the 2 seed. I guess I could have looked at the thing there. How? Wow, they had good pitching. Pablo Sanchez. Pablo Sanchez? What? That's insane. That's awesome. They have a guy named Pablo Sanchez? What? That is awesome, dude. What? Pablo Sanchez. He ends up growing up in Indiana and becoming a starting pitcher for the Tigers. He's a stud. What? Pablo Sanchez. That is legendary. He was a Gold Glove pitcher. Of course he was. Oh, man. That's awesome. Diego Cartaya calls her career at 44. He hasn't played in forever in the majors. He was on our team for quite a while. Never really shined, though. And then went to Cleveland and became a perennial all-star for quite a while till he really fell off. Went to Milwaukee, Atlanta, and Pittsburgh. He had a decent year in Pittsburgh and then just couldn't find a team after that. Retires at 44, Diego Cartaya. And the Padres beat the Royals in the World Series. And we'll sign with the Twins, same division as the Tigers. And there it is. The year 2048, Jonathan Staub calls it a career, wrapping up Tigers franchise. As we look at his stats, he was a Tiger his whole career. Got the call the same year Ortega. They came up together and never left. Was here the whole time. Was a multi-time Gold Glover, multi-time Silver Slugger. If he's not a Hall of Famer on here, he's definitely a Hall of Famer in my book. And in my franchise history, he will go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. Jonathan Staub, ladies and gentlemen. What a phenomenal player. What a phenomenal career. Retires at 43. And before we get out of this, because that'll wrap up Tigers franchises, this is the finale. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. I'm almost like tearing up. This is bittersweet because I'm so happy for the success we had. Jonathan Staub makes the Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen. We got to end it on that note. I'm so thankful for you guys. Thank you so much. We're just getting started. Madden starts next Monday, which will be August 14th. I'll probably start franchise like that day, but I'll probably post a video at some point early Monday morning of like Ultimate Team or something. Probably just or like a gameplay reaction. And then we'll go from there with franchise. But Thank you guys so much for buying into Tigers franchise. We'll be back with the show. We might be back with the show sooner than later if Madden burns out for me because I love baseball. Maybe a new franchise. Maybe we'll figure something out. But we'll bring baseball back. Jonathan Staub, Hall of Famer. That'll be the final curtain call on Tigers franchise, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much. Somehow Philip Chen ended up here. So much. And until next time, as always, it's been the Captain. And peace.